everyone. This is a short program that will give us some reinforcement in using if-else logic, and also it will show us how to use a program or use our code to implement the business rules of an organization. What do we mean by business rules? Those are the rules in place in any organization or business that they govern the employees as well as the customers. For example, Moraine Valley has many business rules in place. One of them, if a student is going to take a class or register for a class, the student must pay the tuition before the class begins, otherwise he or she will be dropped from the roster. Okay, so you have to pay for the class before you can start participating in the class, or at least do a partial payment, or if that's what they're doing over there. And then another business rule is, like, for example, if you wanted to take Spanish 2, you will have had to take Spanish 1 first and get a passing grade, or else 3 years of high school Spanish, whatever they say in the catalog. So prerequisite courses are also examples of business rules. So with that in mind, let's look at this program, which is for a fictitious insurance company, car insurance company, and we'll say that the standard premium that your regular good driver pays is, good low-risk driver pays is $700 for the year, okay? Now, this insurance company is exclusive, and they're not going to insure just anybody, so let's run through the business rules here. No driver under the age of 18 will be insured, so those really young drivers, 16, 17 years old, just out of driver's ed, forget it. This insurance company is not going to insure them. 18 to 22-year-olds will be insured, so young drivers, not totally inexperienced, but still younger drivers, relatively high risk, the college-age drivers, they will be insured, but they're going to have to pay double the premium because they're a high-risk group. Okay? Another high-risk group, older drivers, 85 and older, they will be insured, but they too, like the young drivers, the college-age drivers, will have to pay double the premium, double the standard premium. Okay, and then all other drivers, like I said, the people in their 30s, 40s, and whatnot, who are low-risk drivers will pay just the standard premium. So let's just run this a few times so we can get an idea of the end product here. This is just a console application. And here we'll say we have a 16-year-old just out of driver's ed. Forget it. Insurance denied. Run that again. Okay, let's say we've got a 19-year-old, $1,400. Remember, the standard premium was $700, and so double that. With this high-risk driver is going to be $1,400. Let's do another high-risk driver, an older driver, 90 years old. Again, $1,400. Another high-risk driver that has to pay double. And then we'll just have a regular run-of-the-mill driver, 50 years old, say, and that person only pays $700. Okay? So, the code is already here. You don't have to watch me type, but I'd want to point out a couple of things. And specifically, it's this if-else structure here. And basically, we have let me backtrack here. We do have this area here where we're prompting the user to enter the driver's age, and then we're reading that number from the console and putting that into a variable called age. So whatever age I typed in, it goes into this variable called age. All right? So looking at our if-else logic, we said if age is less than 18, right off the bat, insurance is denied. Okay, so the 16, 17-year-olds, forget it. Now this here is really an important line in the program. We have a very complex relational expression here. We talked about the fact that drivers 18 to 22 years old and older drivers, 85 and over, all have to pay that double premium. Okay, so we kind of lump those two different groups of people, the really old and the really young but still insurable. We kind of lump them into one because the result is the same. They're going to pay $1,400. Okay, so basically, if you can follow the logic here, if age is greater than or equal to 18, Okay, so we've got 18 and over, and age is still less than or equal to 22. So this piece here will isolate the 18 to 22-year-olds, the college kids, all right? Okay, so that's one part of this relational expression. And then we say, or, in the case of the really old drivers, greater than or equal to 85, okay, that will isolate the group of elderly drivers. So again, a lot going on here, but if you really just kind of pick it apart piece by piece, it's not too much of a stretch to understand it, as long as you have gotten comfortable with your relational operators, the greater than, the less than, and so on. Okay, so which is why it's important to know those. So if that's the case, then they have their premium of $1,400, and then the premium of $700 is for everyone else, anyone who doesn't fall into those two age groups, the really young or the really old. Okay, and then we do have another if statement here, a very simple one. As long as they are over 18, then we will have them remit the payment of however much they owe. Okay, why did we say if they're over 18? Well, if they were under 18, they got this message from the get-go, insurance denied. So we're not going to say insurance denied, please remit your payment of $0. That wouldn't make sense. So this is, you know, as long as they pass that test of being 18 or over, that should say greater than or equal to 18. So if they're 18 or over, then they will get the message asking them to remit the payment.